Welcome to Life Matters. I'm your host, Stephanie Henderson, and today's topic is going to be therapy and medication. So, for someone that deals with depression, anxiety, stress, there are many resources out there, many ways to get help, and one of them is therapy, one's medication. Now, there's some people that are very against taking any type of medication, therefore they're not going to take any medication to assist them with depression, anxiety. There's also people that aren't going to do therapy. But I just want to kind of be an advocate for it as it's something that I do, it's something that works for me. And again, when it comes to managing your depression, managing your anxiety, managing stress, not everything's going to work for you. And sometimes you may try something and you may have to go over and revisit it or give it some time. I know when I initially was diagnosed, I began therapy and I began taking medication. Initially, I had some hesitation with the medication, and mainly because of the side effects. And I had some hesitation even with therapy because it just wasn't something I was accustomed to or something I ever done. It was new to me, and I just couldn't imagine pouring myself out, so to speak, to a stranger. But it actually was different than what I was anticipating and became very helpful. But I only spent a short time, about a year, doing that because my therapist had left and moved on to other ventures, and I didn't really want to go through the process again. So I just continued, the medication, and continued to see my doctor regarding that. And over time, I weaned myself off of medication, which I don't recommend doing. I recommend getting with your doctor and developing a plan to do so. And then in the periods where I was just managing it on my own, I faced some challenges, and I didn't have that outlet of therapy. I didn't have that assistance of the medication. So speaking for present tense, what therapy has done for me, because again, this time in my life, my approach, my mindset is completely different. So therapy has really benefited me in all aspects of my life, and it's a great tool where I develop tools, and it's not my therapist telling me what to do. It's not just my therapist listening to me either, but it's me discussing what I choose to discuss and my therapist giving me tools to apply. And through it, I see my growth from day one with my therapist. It's one thing for my therapist to acknowledge it, but I can even see it, and I know that other people do see it. Now with therapy, it's what you make it. It's what you choose to share. They can only help you as much as you want to help yourself. So if you choose to, keep things back, not tell everything, they can't help you but so much. And it's a non-biased relationship where what you're telling them, they don't know these people, they don't know these situations, these places, and what you're describing. They only know, what you're choosing to share, and their sole purpose is to help you in these situations, and handle these situations, and cope with these situations, and deal with it, and find, a way of life around these things or within these things. And if you are open to it, meaning therapy, you can benefit largely. And you work with them. It's not them giving you homework, so to speak, or telling you this is what you got to do. You work with them and you develop, hey, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and they guide you along and get you there. And I know for me, it's kind of like an accountability thing too, because sometimes even in situations that I've grown in and developed in how I handle and cope with them, it's a thought goes through my head sometimes. It's like, well, what would my therapist think, or what would my therapist say, So it kind of holds me accountable to the behavior I choose to display in situations, because I know next time I see my therapist, that's going to be something we discuss, and they're going to be honest as to, hey, you handled that well, I'm proud of you. Maybe you could have handled things a little different, or even just straight ask, hey, do you think you handled that the best you can? And it's a situation to be very vulnerable and really really take in and kind of do some self-reflection on you, because a lot of times it's easy to blame people, it's easy to blame situations, but sometimes we have to take accountability and know that, you know, we did play a part in however something may have transpired, and really grow from that and learn from that. And that's something, even now with therapy, I'm not looking at the situations or the people that may have caused me to be distressed or anxious or stressed or whatever it is. I'm looking at me and how I can be better and how I can rise to the occasion differently, you know. When it comes to a medication, it makes a difference for me. I notice the difference from not being on it to being on it, and I do take an antidepressant. I also take something that helps me to sleep at night. The main thing is the side effects, and this is something that you have to really consider when you want to feel better. It's some of the side effects that come along with it. I've come to a place where I'm okay with them, because at the end of the day I feel better. Like, I'm not sad plus that. I'm happy, but I got these little side effects that are livable. And again, just like with your therapist, your doctor or psychiatrist will be the ones prescribing your medication. So you work with them, you're honest with them, for one, for them to be able to suggest the possible medication to help you, but also as you do check-ins to see how's it going, you're honest about that, and tell of any type of side effects to a degree, and you work with them to adjust dosages, maybe try different medication. I'm on a different antidepressant than I first took previously, both having a side effect of weight gain, and I've been affected by both of those. So when I took the first one, I had a weight gain as a side effect, and the second one, at the time when I first went to psychiatrist, was relatively new to the market, and it was similar to what I had taken before, but it would help me a little bit more with the anxiety, not just the depression. So I was willing to, try it, and the doctor did say, knowing the history from previously, this one does have that side effect. And I'm affected by it, but I'm happy. So I can deal with a little extra, meat on me to feel better and be happy, because it's strange, because if I was just having this extra meat on me and not happy and I was sad, it'd feel a lot different. But I'm happy, so it's something that I've chosen to just live with and work around. And the other medication I take that helps me sleep at night, one which I didn't know until later, until I was experiencing night sweats. So I have an occasion, where nights where I sweat, and I keep my room at like an Arctic temperature. So it's odd that I have AC on 70, I have a ceiling fan on high, I have a floor fan on high, and I can manage to break out in a sweat from head to toe. Now, I do know that by talking to my psychiatrist, this side effect for some people is a lot worse than what I experience. So where it's a nightly, it's an all day type of thing, where I don't have that issue. So again, it's bearable for me. But I do notice in situations where you naturally do sweat, I sweat excessively more than I probably used to. And again, it's something I've chose to deal with, live with, because it does aid me. Now, again, therapy's not for everybody, medication's not for everybody. One or the other may or may not be for everybody. You may choose to do one over the other. But that's where the self-care comes in very important, because those things that we do that are enjoyable, that are pleasurable, are additives to that. I choose to do all. So I hope this, helps someone if you're considering therapy, if you're considering medication. I say try it. If it's something that you're considering, it doesn't hurt to try. And again, it's you and your doctor and therapist developing that relationship and finding what is going to be best for you. And keep in mind that they have your best interests at heart. Life matters. Stephanie Henderson.